Welcome to the fourth installment of In the News. Now, I know the news has already been blasted out all over the rest of social media when it comes to my end of things, but I figured I'd share with my subscribers here on YouTube and, of course, those who follow my Mark Oliveras on YT page on TikTok. As you may have heard last week, me and Margaret are going to become an aunt and an uncle. So therefore, Uncle Mark and Aunt Margaret, Theo Mark and Titi Margaret, is to Isabel and Meyer. And just wanted to warn you all, like Ward Burton, there is no rule saying you have to be a married couple just to be the aunt of and an uncle of, the opposing side's sibling whenever they have a child. So there was never any rule against that. So I don't care if Margaret and I are not married. Margaret's still going to be her aunt, whether my sister likes it or not. There's nothing that she can do about it. But anyway, let's get into it. So I was going to be happy either way, whether, it was going to be a boy or a girl. Whether it was going to be a boy or a girl. I mean, a boy would have meant I would have had the little brother I never had, but I didn't give a shit about that. I was going to be happy either way because I get to be a first-time uncle. And even though Margaret and I are not married, it doesn't mean shit. It's still going to be Isabel's aunt as long as Margaret and I stay together. So therefore, that's what I plan to do. So, and I figured, Margaret's the one for me, considering that the other girlfriends I had, Helena and Janet, or even any of the ones in between them, they didn't show this kind of affection and love, that Margaret's showing. Making the first move. Margaret made the first move when I went to put my lunchbox away. I went to put my lunchbox away in the lounge like a normal person, and she's boy crazy in general, not just about me or any part in particular, just in general. She saw me and just started making a bunch of noise. And along with the fact that she was getting a lot of hype as being the new person that just started in our program, the Triad ViaQuest side of EOVC. So, yeah, therefore, and then, I remember another time where, I know this is a video about me becoming an uncle, but I'm just talking about the stuff that led up to it. So, this is when I started falling out of love with Janet, too, because I got attracted to Margaret. One day, I was just sitting there not paying attention to what was going on around me. My shoe was untied, and Margaret scared me and caught me off guard. And she's the master at that, because she did it another time, but just recently, where I almost knocked over the table. Scrambling, trying to get her, because I had my shoes off, I was comfortable, and I had to put it all back on just to go get her. But then, that was the second move. But then the third move really is, shit, this is the one. But then I have someone, so I have to tell them I don't want a relationship no more without bringing Margaret up. So, therefore, remember the wild-ass apple orchard I talked about over on my Instagram? Well, that was when I went to hide from the bees in the van because I thought they were going to be in the orchard itself, and they came and found me anyway. Well, after that was over, I told my staff and I told my co-workers that I was going to visit Cassie and ViaQuest, one of the Margaret staff over there. I get in the ViaQuest door, right? I got the door, fine, just took a few steps. I don't even get one step into the actual program. Here's Margaret grabbing my arm for a hug in front of the boy she was seeing at the time. And I realized, oh shit, this is the one for me. I figure she's the one because... But then I think the cherry on top was the bathroom fiasco. I don't think I shared that story yet. So apparently, what happened was the last moment of indication that we were gonna be and be built for each other was when I went to go to the bathroom. I was using the urinal, and she already had one incident, where the main bathroom she used to was already occupied. And so we luckily had staff that eventually quit a day or two later, helped me take her to the right one. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case the second time. We didn't have staff this time to take her to the right bathroom, considering the one that she used to was occupied again. I couldn't take her nowhere because of the fact that I was in the urinal pissing the shit out of that thing. And I could hear her in the front door because she's just as loud as me, and I'm screaming, "Hey, hun, wrong room, wrong room." By the time she actually walked all the way in the bathroom, luckily I was done and my pants were all the way up. Oh my God, I was laughing on the way out, and I was laughing I walked in the door home when I told my mom and grandparents about it, that she shared the bathroom with me. And I know this is TMI, but this is the only way that's going to explain how Margaret became the aunt of this little girl that my sister's about to have. And then my grandmother, who's about to be a great-grandmother called Gigi, said, you know a girl likes you when they share the bathroom with you. And then when I told my dad at the Triad Christmas party in Mara, my dad had the biggest laugh attack. He was being quiet, luckily, and not like making a scene and laughing out loud. But he was having the biggest laugh attack when I was telling them that story. That's how funny it was. And then December 21st, her and I became a thing. She was my Christmas miracle, and I'm sure you can imagine the rest. So I'm really excited to be this little girl's uncle, and Margaret to be this little girl's aunt. So this is a new achievement unlocked, a new milestone reached for me. So I never been an uncle before, and now this is my first time. First of many, I hope. So therefore, it already makes me excited for if Margaret and I stay together and, we get married and have a kid, makes me excited for me to turn my sister into an aunt one day. Yeah, so therefore, if I have a boy, if I have one boy, I'm gonna name him Mark Anthony Oliveras Jr. If I have a second boy, name him Ricky Martin Oliveras. If I have a girl, I don't know what girl I'm gonna name her, but that's gonna be 20, 30 years from now. I don't fucking know. But it's been a long time coming, it's well worth the wait. Sorry for the bloody nose. I mean, I had a scab there that I was trying to clean off, so please forgive me for that, but the girl is due, sometime after my sister and her husband's, my brother-in-law's wedding anniversary, sometime in July. The baby shower is during the springtime, sometime next month or the month after. It's going to be an exciting time in the Oliveras Plaza Meyer family. So, therefore, we got a Firestone in our family, like I said, we don't need to be married just to be considered, Margaret and I don't need to be married just to be considered family by blood. There's no rule or law on anything about, kind of like how there's no rule on anything when it comes to, being a sports fan, You know how I always say to the people who ask me, Mark, why are you a Spurs fan if you live in Ohio? Aren't you supposed to be a Cavs fan? Well, that shit doesn't matter either. You can support any team you want, regardless where you come from. It doesn't have to be a sports. The sports team you support doesn't have to be from the state you come from. There's no rule on that, and there's no rule saying that you and your girlfriend have to be married just for you to be an aunt and an uncle of the child of your sibling. From the on the opposing end of the opposing end of the happy couple. Just because Margaret and I are married doesn't necessarily mean that she's not allowed to be my sister's daughter's aunt. There's no rule on that. There's no rule on supporting a sports team based on the state you come from. No rule on shit. No rule on anything. So that's just gonna let you guys be out, you guys know out there, because I even have friends that are not even married, become a mother and father, to a kid, people I went to school with, or people I was friends with in the Brook Park, Sandhurst, Berea era that I didn't even go to school with there. I was just friends with them when they were in Ford Middle School. And, they're growing up and having kids and rushing it, before they have a chance to be married, It's not a rule, also not a rule saying you have to be married to have a kid yourself, There's no rule on that either. I mean, my friends from the Ford Middle School from back in the day, Sarah Fawn and Anna Scott, both had kids with their boyfriends, but were they married? No. Would they get in trouble for that, or and their family for that, for breaking the rule? Did they get in trouble with the law for breaking the law? No, because there's no rule or law on anything on that. I don't know why some people think that, considering that I've even seen friends I know in real life, become an aunt and an uncle to I've seen couples, people I know that are couples become an aunt and an uncle to the opposing end of the duo's sibling, when I can't talk. I've I've seen people I know in real life, become an aunt and uncle as a non-married couple, when, the opposing partner sibling had a child, and yet they still became an aunt or an uncle with them, even though they weren't married. So if people I know in real life can do it, so can Margaret and I. So just wanted to warn you, like Ward Burton, this is not directed at my sister. I mean, even though that upset me when she said that, but it's not directed at anyone in particular, just in general. It's kind of like, normalize, women proposing to men, because I've seen people on TV do it, even though TV is not supposed to be real. Sometimes the fake stuff can, like, showcase that it can be done for real too. I've seen online where, like, real life people out in the real world actually have women propose to men. So if Margaret would have proposed to me when I least expected, oh, damn well I'd be happy as hell, and I'd be crying like a little bitch if she proposed to me out of nowhere. And I've seen women propose to men before, and it can be done. It can be done. There's no rule on anything in particular. I mean, I know it may seem odd, but it's not illegal either. So, therefore, either way, I'm done ranting and raving about what's not a rule and what's not a law and all this shit. All I can say is I'm excited to be an uncle. The baby shower is sometime in March or April. I gotta look into it. It's gonna be at a hotel, and my sister's coming into town for that, considering that she wants to be around her whole family, and including me, so I can understand that. And I'm not ready for the family to the Holy Meet Margaret yet, because we're still building up our relationship, and she has behavioral problems, so therefore I'm working on that with her, so you don't have to worry. So it's going to take time for me to get used to it. I'm slowly getting used to her, getting upset at random things for no reason. So that's, considering that, she's more tolerable than Janet ever was and ever will be, considering that, Margaret has a lot of attributes that, Janet didn't have and Helena didn't have. So I'm sorry if I'm bringing up my exes a lot, but I'm just trying to trying to explain how Margaret is the one compared to the other two. But anyway, I guess I want to stop making this video just so I can avoid, any trouble. So I will see you all I've been taking a much needed break from the Spurs, and rightfully so. So therefore, I think my next Spurs game will be the Kelly Berglund Spurs Cavs banger. So as we got demolished by Miami last night, and then we blew another lead to a bunch of G League Warriors team the game before, and Jock and Jakob are not going to be playing for a while, and it doesn't look like if I'm not mistaken, doesn't look like they'll be ready to go by February 9th. It's like every year I have to go through this, where right before I go to the game, even when I lived in Michigan in the Lenore house and the Spurs came to town to play the Pistons, someone was always hurt or out of the game for any reason right before I went to the game. So therefore, it looks like Jakob and Jock won't be playing on February 9th if they're not ready to go by, they're not out of concussion protocol. So I will see you all for whatever that next video is. So have a good night tonight and a better day tomorrow. Life will give you a lot of lows, but when you hit a high, enjoy it. It ain't for the weak. Goddamn, be you. You have to try harder to do less. And I just remembered the next video will be on Sunday when I do a recap of the Bush clash at the Los Angeles Coliseum. So I look forward to that. And then the Kelly Berglund Spurs Cavs banger. And then my birthday, February 15th. And then the Daytona 500 live stream 5 days later. So take care, everyone. Good night. And I'll see you all for the Bush Light clash at the LA Coliseum race recap video Sunday night. So see you later, everyone.